are gradually preparing, some of them preparing to leave China in the expectation that in the future, if there is going to be a confrontation between the US and China, they don't want to be caught in crossfire. Of course, there are some long-standing investors. I mean, for example, Germany is still strong in China. They still increase their FDI. But the US companies, Japanese companies are increasingly in the mood of leaving. This is the biggest concern, and the Chinese are asking help for this. And also, I think money supply is in short right now in China. Many people expected that China was investing heavily abroad in minerals, mines, oil, gas production. No longer you have these Chinese companies having the same appetite. Therefore,
even on the Belt Road Initiative is kind of dead, or
it's not that, because it's already, I mean, it's the brainchild of Xi Jinping, President Xi Jinping. It's already enshrined in the Chinese constitution. It will continue. They spend up to now almost $1 trillion in Belt and Road Initiative. No nation on earth could do this for such interconnectivity. However, there are problems with Belt and Road Initiative because Chinese are operating on commercial basis, and they try to take over some of the concrete, tangible assets rather than giving loans and whatever to these countries. So there are controversies on this issue, but still, it's the only it's the only man in town in a way supporting infrastructure projects. But this is decreasing now, as it's not as strong as it used to be. So this is also part of a conscious US strategy to contain China, but also domestically make it quite difficult for Chinese economy to grow. That's also one of the explanations why there is less demand now in China for energy imports from abroad. And therefore, also I think one serious concern the US has, I think during the last IEA ministerial in Paris, US Secretary for Energy clearly said that we are very worried about being over-reliant for critical raw materials and rare earth on a country which doesn't share values with us. It's interesting that she brings the value issue to this energy equation. Therefore,
yeah, that is certainly that's also quite an issue in the context.
If they are going to act together with Egypt, and it seems that Iran, Iraq, Syria not yet, but Iran, Iraq especially is quite keen to join the bloc. So there might be a regional sort of a grouping which will work together, which is easier said than done, but there is such an intention. And Erdogan, if he plays his hand well, not acting as if he's the leader of this grouping, but as a responsible member of this grouping, and I think win-win way, Turkey could play a quite positive role because it has good relations with Hamas alongside Qatar, as you know. It can influence Hamas somehow, as well as Al-Fat at the Palestinian state.
Well, I saw yesterday a rather sort of a horrific commentary